Hi everybody, welcome to Jin's Wall Street News. The US Census Bureau announced last Friday that the international trade deficit in goods tumbled 46% from $162.3 billion in March to $87.6 billion in April. The U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis reported last Friday that personal consumption expenditures rose 0.2% in April from the previous month. In addition, the PCE price index increased 0.1% in April month over month. Atlanta Fed's GDPNow estimates U.S. real GDP growth at 3.8% for the second quarter 2025. 10-year Treasury yield is hovering around 4.42%. The U.S. Census Bureau announced last Friday that the international trade deficit in goods tumbled 46% from $162.3 billion in March to $87.6 billion in April. Exports of goods increased by $6.3 billion from $182.2 billion in March to $188.5 billion in April, while imports of goods decreased by $68.4 billion from $344.5 billion in March to $276.1 billion in April. The U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis reported last Friday that personal consumption expenditures rose 0.2% from $20,621.8 billion in March to $20,669.5 billion in April, up 5.4% from $19,603.3 billion in April last year. In addition, personal income increased 0.8% from $25,647.6 billion in March to $25,857.7 billion in April, up 5.5% from $24,511.1 billion in April last year. Meanwhile, the PCE price index rose 0.1% in April from the previous month, up 2.1% over the last 12 months. The core PCE price index, excluding food and energy, increased 0.1% month over month, up 2.5% year over year. It sounds like a Goldilocks economy based on the personal spending and the PCE price index in April, released by the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta, GDPNow estimates U.S. real GDP growth at 3.8%, up from 2.2% on May 27th. 10-year Treasury yield fell last Thursday after the U.S. Department of Labor reported the number of Americans receiving benefits after an initial week of aid increased to the highest level since November 2021. Then it's hovering around 4.42%. It looks good now because many investors are concerned about the US bond market, where 10-year Treasury yield soars to 5% due to the rising burden of the federal government budget deficit. US stocks mixed on last Friday. S&P 500 edged down 0.01%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 0.13%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq lost 0.32%. Okay, this is the end of today's news. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.